Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have a lot of high-scoring tiles, including the J and the Z. I can't play off both of them. The U and the B are slightly problematic because they're non-bingo, and I'm looking for a way of playing one of the J and the Z and maybe getting rid of the B and the U as well. That's quite tricky. B and D don't go that well together. I could play Judd. Or, well, let me see what Judd looks like. It does take an O, an S, and a Y at the end. Can I do better than this? I quite like keeping the A with the Z. It would be nice to play off one more tile. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this. Great, that looks much better. I can now either bingo or, more likely, play off the Z and leave myself with a decent rack. A play of Bez would leave Rate, which is a very good four-letter rack leave. Now, is there a bingo here? I don't think there's a 7. There could be an 8. Just looking at the floaters on the board. Can't see anything. I've got Zebra as an alternative to Bez, although the rack leave will be worse. Now, does Foyne take an E at the end? I think it does. In which case I've got Bez here. The alternative would have been Zebra in column 11. But I think this is a better combination of score and rack leave. But it does depend on Foyne taking an E. And I think I will run that chance. And if this stays on, I've surely got a bingo. I have Seriate and Airiest. Just waiting for this to be challenged. Bez takes nothing after it. So where can I play Seriate and Airiest? Well, Seriate plays in column 11. And Airiest does as well, making Fee, Judos and It. Fantastic. And it's not challenged, so I guess it is good. This is what I had in mind. Airiest for 84 points. It doesn't take anything in front. It's not particularly dangerous. I could play Airiest underneath Zoe without it getting doubled. But I don't think that's going to score as much as Airiest. OE takes an S, but again, the score's going to be less. Pretty good. F and W not great, but I've got no duplicate tiles and it's balanced. I can play WOF, leaving INST, which is a pretty good four-letter set. I don't think there's a 7-letter bingo here, and there are probably not many 8s. But there are some good floaters in Airiest, so I'm just going to consider them. Can't see anything with the A. Or the E. Or the R. Okay, nice bingo for my opponent, 84 points. He's opened up a new hotspot in column 8. So I could play WOF above that. Can I play down through the E? I'd quite like to get rid of the F and the W. Neither of them is bingo-y. Well, I've got weft. Not quite as good a rack leave as WOF. But this is 42 points. WOF, 24 points. This is 16 more points, and this rack leave is not 16 points worse than INST, and the T of weft is available to go with this. as is the R of airiest, so that makes the rack leave less worse than it might otherwise be. So, do I have anything better than weft? I don't think so. Dronish and dishorn. Redelt takes nothing after it. So, does either of my bingos play? Redelt has taken out the S hook for OE for a 7-letter play. I can't see anywhere for dronish. Or dishorn. Well, maybe my opponent will oblige with an opening. If he doesn't, do I have an 8 through any of the floaters? So I've got A, E, R and T to consider in particular. Can't see anything with the T. What about the A? Nothing's coming to mind, but there could be one there. Now, how about the E? An anagram of side horn. And my opponent does not provide an opening for dishorn. That is annoying. And the R's not looking good. So, what to do? Well, it's the J and the U to consider, close to nourished. Well, I guess I go back to looking at A and E to see if I can see something here. Nothing's coming to mind with the A. 15 minutes on my clock. What about the E? Side horn. I would have dishonor through an O. Hordians. I have Hordians. Yes, fantastic. That one nearly escaped me. Hordians for 76. And there are no other E's, so I have no alternative placements. Pretty good. There may be an 8 here, probably not a 7, but by pretty good, what I mean is I can probably score quite well and leave a decent rack leave. Pioi is good, P-I-O-Y, which can be played with and without an E. So, although this isn't a bingo, I was pleased to see this rack because whenever you're drawing 7 random tiles, there's the possibility of 3 I's and 3 U's, or something better than that, which presents you with difficulties in terms of changing or ploughing your way through the rack. I don't have that issue with this rack. I can just play Pioi, which my opponent's blocked, but lemon takes a Y. However, let me first consider bingos, because I've got the L, N and T, all of which look like they help this rack. The L and the Y go well together. I've got the ISO prefix, so I can't see anything with the L. Or the M. What about the N? No. What about the S? No. What about the T? ISO type. Well, that doesn't use both eyes. So, how to sort the rack out? Pioi was the play I mentioned that can play here for 23 points, keeping IS. It's not giving very much away. If my opponent plays in row E, he'll be creating floaters and not scoring very much. It's a consonant underneath the double word square. I guess Pioi is opening up a double-double lane. However, I have a good lead at the moment. And an open board should enable me to keep scoring. But Pioi was the first move I saw. Is there a better one? Do I have a play ending OP? Well, any such play would have to play off an I as well. I don't want to keep duplicate I. I can't see any likely score available which would justify doing that. What about a play through the N, getting the Y doubled? No, I think I'm going to go with this. But am I right burning the E? Surely not. Let me keep the E, even though it's making the rack vowel heavy. The E is a nice tile. 13 minutes on my clock, 44 tiles left. Just pausing in case there's a better spot. Now, what about column 14 through the S? Well, I could play Pissy, burning my S. 36 points, so an extra 14 points, but I'm burning the S. And keeping 3 vowels, so I think Pioi is better. I'm going with this. Pretty good. That looks like there could be a bingo here. So my pretty good wasn't just that it wasn't a bad rack, it's that this is a bingo-y rack. Not blocked. No bingo lanes blocked by my opponent. So what do I have? Both the N and the S duplicate tiles on my rack. I haven't yet seen a 7, but there could be one. This looks really bingo-y. Maybe the duplicate I is slightly problematic. I've got the IVE ending. I've got the INV beginning. Now, what about the P? That doesn't go very well with the E. Okay, now what about the N and the S? Can't see anything with the N. Or the S. Well, how annoying. I thought I might have a choice of bingos here. It looks like I don't have any. Certainly none that I've seen. I feel that there could be a 7 here, though. There may not be anywhere to play it if I see it. 11 minutes on my clock. Visioner through an O. Just not seeing anything. What about the L? Now, Vineries through an E. Nope. And you can see how useful it was to keep the E. That makes the rack much closer to being a bingo. EA not particularly useful. I not available. W. So something ending view. Well, I think I'm going to have to give up on finding a bingo here. This T is also available. Now, inviters. Okay, that doesn't play through this T. It doesn't play through this T quite. Inviters. Vitrines. Again, doesn't work. Is there another anagram or more than one? Inviters. Vitrines. Vintries. No, again, doesn't work. Servient. Do I have servient? I think I do. I have a slight doubt about this, but I think it's good, and I think Vintries does have a number of anagrams, and I think this is one of them. Let's see if this stays on the board. If it does, it's a massive score, 95 points. Pretty horrible rack. However, will the 95... and it comes off. Unbelievable. I was fairly confident about that. I guess it's Servient SE. Well, what a shame I saw that and was tempted. I am at least spared the misery of the rack I drew. But 95 points would have seen me pretty much home and dry. 9 minutes on the clock, 36 tiles in the bag. So re-invites would be a 9-letter play. So how can I play off some tiles? Well, I guess a play of just V and I would leave an excellent 5-letter set. I was thinking about playing underneath map. I don't think I will. So the trouble with playing Vin is, although it's leaving the best possible rack leave, I'm taking out or obstructing 2 floaters, which is a shame. However, the rack leave is really good. And I haven't seen anywhere else for VI, and I'm mindful of the time. So I think I will go with this. Great. I surely have a bingo here. I have angriest in row O. Will that stay available? Now, what about the L? There's about 4 or 5 anagrams through that L, or with that L rather. Sail ring, Sanglia, and all of the other ones. Engrails, but I don't think any of them end in L. So at the moment, I haven't got an alternative for angriest. However, I do, because angriest also plays in column 13, making OES. So I'm definitely bingoing, and that shows the merit of Van. I wasn't guaranteed a bingo, but if you keep a 5-letter rack leave like resin, you're giving yourself a very good chance of bingoing on the next go. Still 1 blank to come, so it's a nice time to be picking 7 fresh tiles, and it's a pretty bingo-y bag. Certainly no vowel shortage. Or he takes an L in front, but if I utilise that, I'm not tripling my play, so I'm only interested in plays in row A which end in an L, and I haven't seen any. Now, what about a 7-letter play running underneath map? Angries doesn't work. Earrings. Erasing. Searing. Syringa. Reagins. Reginas. Okay, none of those work. 22 for my opponent. K takes nothing in front. Angriest remains available. But, even better, rangiest. A bigger score, 83 points. I dodged the blank, but I'm 130 in front, and I've got a couple of vowels. B and V don't go well together. So I'm looking to jettison one or both of them. I can place Svelta in row O, which has the advantage of turning over a lot of tiles, increasing my chances of drawing the blank. £35 points, a decent score. I can't see any 7s with this rack. I can't see any 8s. Still a few bingo lanes on this board, but I think I'm sufficiently far ahead that I can just keep gunning for the finishing line. The Q could be problematic, only 1 U to come. My opponent's opened the board up even more, but that's fine, because I can come straight back with a big score of my own. He's burnt 4 tiles, so he's expediting the end of the game too. So Svelte, 35. Have I missed a better spot for this? No, I think I'll go with this. Great, I draw the X, which is a good scoring tile. And overall, I've got scoring tiles, and with a couple of vowels, I should be able to play and have options. I've got Braxy on my rack, which plays in row J, making my. That's going to score quite well. Ten tiles in the bag, 7 minutes on my clock. And the Braxy spot stays available. My opponent looks like he was struggling with vowels. Hopefully he's now struggling with the Q. So Braxy, 46. Is there anywhere better? I don't think so. I draw the Q. However, I draw an I to go with it, and I draw a blank, which reduces my opponent's likelihood of bingoing. There are no tiles left, so if he does bingo... Wow, I played Braxy a bit quickly. I didn't realise I was emptying the bag, and I should have done. If my opponent bingos now, he'll get 42 points on countback. Okay, but I think I still win. However, it may have been a mistake, especially since my X could have gone next to this U. So I might have had a play in column 2. Okay, anyway, that's ancient history now. I have to deal with this rack of misery. Now I've got 3 of the 4 tiles for whack. There's one F. There's the other, neither are available, but I do have the blank. But I can't see anywhere to play it even with using the blank. My opponent may have a bingo. But I can't see it. He's got no scoring tiles. So if he doesn't bingo, where can I play my Q? I've got 7 minutes. Well, I could play QUAI in column 4 for a ton of points. Can I do better than that? Gosh, whack nearly works in row N, but it doesn't for the first letter. I wonder if I'd have played off fewer tiles last turn, whether I could have drawn the blank and had the possibility of bingoing myself. Probably not, since almost all the tiles I picked up were unbingoey. So at the moment, all I've seen is quay or key. What to do if that's blocked? My opponent will be going out in... he's blocked my spot, probably because he saw it. So I now have to think, which is annoying. Where can I play my Q? I could play suck for 31. I haven't got any QUEA plays. I could play quag, 25. I've got sank using the blank as an N. Nowhere for that. My opponent's got erode. Well, or Dory. Maybe he can't go out in 1 and I'll get a second to go. This doesn't feel optimal. I'm sure it's winning. But I'd like to play off more tiles. So 5 minutes on my clock. Is this really the best I can do? I definitely want to burn the queue. Let me put this back. So I could play squaw in this spot. That's not better. Well, I think this board just doesn't have as many openings as it looks like it's got. One of the problems with playing Suck is if my opponent doesn't go out now, I can't go out in one. I don't think Gawcie is good, Gawcie. I think it's just SIE, although I could be mistaken. And Gawcie remains available, but I don't think it's good. So can I get 11 points to limp over the 500 mark? My opponent surely will be going out next go. My I can go after the Q, but only my G goes in front. And that's 16 points. Can I do better? I can play AW. 28, that's better. Can I improve on that? What about a play from L1 onto the D? 4 minutes on my clock. Can't see anything. I think I'll go with this. I've got Sig and Gan. Should my opponent not go out, but I think he will. Yep. So pass to end the game. And the final score, 352 to my opponent, 517 to me. A winning margin of 165. So a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Foyne, a phony. Fantastic. Got away with that. So it was me to go first. And look at Jab. Horrible rack leave. ZU. What did I do? I played Judd, and I prefer that. Opponent plays Foyne. And it looks like Zebra or a Tanagram in column 11 was best. But Foyne with an E, not good. Opponent looks like he has a bingo. He doesn't. He plays OE. And now I have Airiest in column 11. Nice rack for my opponent. He bingos. And I have Weft for 42. Opponent plays Foe. And I took an age to see Hordians, but I got there in the end. Opponent's rack, no bingo. He plays Lemon. And I play Pioi for 22. And, well, the option is Posey B14 for 14 more points. Well, that may have been worth doing. It's a much worse rack leave. About 7 or 8 points worse, possibly more. And it's opening up column 15, so probably not much between those. Horrible rack for my opponent. He plays Ori. Now, this is where I shamed myself with Servient. Was there a bingo? No, there wasn't. Okay, L4. Vinu onto the W. Very nice. What did I do? Well, yes, exactly. Now, my opponent plays map. And I play... Well, I play Vin for a lot less than what's on offer here, but for a much better rack leave. I'm keeping Resin. Resin is a lot better than any of these rack leaves. Opponent plays 2-pick, and I have Rangers for 83, but Gainers. There was a bingo running underneath map. Okay, but only 2 more points, so I think Rangiest is fine. Opponent's got a nice rack, but doesn't have a bingo. Plays Clink. I play Svelte for 35. I could have played Velator, keeping the S back for only 1 fewer point, so Velator would have been better. Opponent plays a Agouti, only 5 tiles in the bag. Now, I played Braxy for 46. What I didn't think about was that I was emptying the bag. So, C4, XI for 35. Keeping a pretty tricky rack. It's not the end of the world emptying the bag, especially when I was going to win even if my opponent bingoed. But maybe a play of a buy keeping CIRX and leaving 1 in the bag would have been better. But Braxy certainly isn't a bad play. My opponent does not have a bingo. Weiss K4. Wow, because MY takes a C. Yep, very nice. However, it's keeping the Q and burning the I in the blank, so probably not best. I did Sook for 31. Opponent can't go out. Plays X'd. And now I have Or for 28, which looks fine. And then my opponent does go out. So a pretty exciting game. Always fun to score more than 500 points and good to get another win under the belt. So I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.